Okay, welcome back to another MECH 1000 video. I wanted to add one more video to this MP3 player that we drew in the previous three videos. And that the reason for that is because I wanted to show how to set this up in Paperspace. This is actually the first time I've done this drawing, and as I did it, I began to realize that the dimensions provided were not in inches, that this is actually a metric drawing, and all the dimensions given were in they were in centimeters. And so I wanted to share with you some things that I actually experimented with just now, and in how to get this set up in the correct scale. So what I found, and there may be another way to go about doing this, but what I found that worked, and I tested this out, I actually printed out the drawing and measured it, and it did print to scale, and that is to manually set up your own custom scale to convert this, which was drawn in the model space, using these dimensions that were given, 10.36, but AutoCAD interprets those as 10.36. Let's change this to a different color. Well, let's just change the color of that layer. Let's make it blue. Come on. Come on. There we go. All right, I'm going to have to go to Layer Properties Manager, I guess. I don't know why it's not letting me change it from the pull-down menu. All right, so there we go. So that 10.36, that's 10.36 inches, and we don't want it to be inches. If we, for instance, were to set our scale up here to be 1:1, you can see that that's going to be too big to fit on our sheet of paper, because our sheet of paper is 8.5 by 11, so it's only 8.5 inches tall. So a 10-inch MP3 player is not going to fit. So what I did is I actually created a custom scale. That's not what I wanted. This is what I want. So if I double click into viewport and I go to my scales, I created a custom scale by coming down here and going to custom, and I named mine millimeter to inches. And what I did is I set it up so that 1 unit of the drawing equals 2.54 drawing units. And so that is the conversion factor between inches and centimeters. There are 2.54 centimeters in every inch. So that 1 to 2.54 scale, when I use that, I called it millimeters to inches, that shrinks it down so that it actually fits on the page. So this, I've tested it out. I used this custom scale, printed it out, and measured it with a ruler, and it really does come up as 10.36 centimeters. So that is the correct scale to use for a 1:1. So if I'm going to make room here for the orthographic drawing, which I haven't done, but I'm going to ask you to do that, to do the top, front, and side views of this MP3 player, then that means we're going to have to shrink this down even more. So I might need to make another custom scale and add a new one. And we could call this whatever we want to. Maybe I'll call it millimeters, or actually I guess it's inches to millimeters, and then 1 to 2. Okay, so if I wanted just a 1:1 straight up conversion from inches to millimeters, it'd be 1 to 2.54. So if I take that 2.54 and multiply that by 2, that gives me 5.08. So if I go with a 5.08 here, 1 to 5.08, that's going to do two things. It's going to convert my inches to millimeters, or actually centimeters. Let's edit that. Centimeters here. I should have done the same thing with this other one. Let's edit that. Actually, I'll just call this, like I did the other one, inches with an arrow, inches to centimeters. Doesn't really matter what you call it. You're the only one that's going to see this, but I should be accurate in what I type in. So this will both convert it from inches to centimeters and make it a 1 to 2 scale. So if I use that one, there we go, that'll shrink it down, and that is going to fit on the page. That'll give you lots of room for that top, front, and side view. Top, front, side, and the bottom view as well for the speaker at the bottom of the charging jack probably is what that is. So so this scale down here would be a 1 to 2. That custom scale does both the conversion and scales it down 1 to 2. So we'll set that up as 1 to 2. Call the title here MP3 player. And then just update the date here. Today's date is November 1st. Okay. All right. So again, setting up the scale here to deal with the metric units. What I found is that let's go down here back to custom again. That'll allow me to bring these up in the editing dialog box. So just a straight up conversion from our inches to centimeters is 1 to 2.54. And then to convert it to inches to centimeters and scale it down by a factor of 1 to 2 is 1.508. Okay, and that does it for this MP3 player. So as I said, I did not go through the orthographic views, the front, top, side, and bottom views, but I will ask you to do that. I think at this point in the semester you should be able to do that on your own with no problem. But for the isometric view, we've gone through all the steps of how to do that, including how to set up the paper space. So good luck with this. If you've got any questions, post them to the Blackboard discussion board, or be sure to ask them in class. I'll see you there.